The Amazing Bulk, 2012. Okay, we're off to a good start. Let's start with the crown jewel of bootleg superhero cinema, The Amazing Bulk. Imagine Marvel's Incredible Hulk, but instead of a $150 million budget, you get $14,000. Yep, director Louis Schonbrun, yeah, he managed to scrape together a feature-length superhero parody with basically no money. And obviously, the results are hilarious. Every scene looked like it was shot against a green screen because it was. The city streets, the explosions, even the park bench. They're all stock images and free 3D assets from the internet. The Purple Hulk himself looks like he escaped from a PlayStation 1 cutscene and works for McDonald's. I'm just kidding. Sorry. So why it was made? Schonbrun wanted to prove he could make a full film using entirely digital backgrounds. What he accidentally created was a meme factory. Critics destroyed it, but YouTubers and the internet forums elevated it into cult status. People watched it ironically the same way you'd watch The Room.
Did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
And honestly, for $14,000, this movie has outlived most forgettable blockbusters.
Like I said, they always come back to the scene of the crime.
We're gonna have to take you down to the station.
I don't think that'd be a good idea.
You don't want to do that.
Well, it ain't Barney the Purple Dinosaur.
Almighty Thor, 2011. If you've ever rented a DVD thinking it was Marvel's Thor, there's a good chance you got tricked by this one. It was made by The Asylum, the studio famous for mockbusters, like cheap movies released the same week as big Hollywood blockbusters, hoping confused parents or curious fans would pick them up. The film came out on Sci-Fi Channel the exact weekend Marvel's Thor hit theaters. But instead of Chris Hemsworth and Asgardian spectacle, you get cardboard sets, toy hammers, and Richard Grieco from 21 Jump Street playing Loki. The budget? Well, it's about $200,000, and compared to Marvel's $150 million, of course, you've guessed it, this is how it looks. It never hit theaters, it was designed for TV and DVD sales. And that's the Asylum strategy. Make it cheap, release it fast, and let the confusion do the marketing. Avengers Grimm, 2015. The Asylum wasn't done. They doubled down with Avengers Grimm. As the name suggests, it's their answer to the Avengers. Except instead of Iron Man and Hulk, you get Snow White, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, and Red Riding Hood teaming up as superheroes. And their villain? It's Rumpelstiltskin. This mashup cost maybe a few $100,000 at most, but the premise was ambitious. A full superhero team-up using fairy tale princesses. They even cast Lou Ferrigno, the original Incredible Hulk, to add some credibility.
What's that name they call you?
I'm Iron John.
Of course, the final product was a mess. Awful CGI, bad acting, incoherent story, but The Asylum released it straight to DVD and later on Netflix, right when Avengers Age of Ultron was dominating the theaters. I guess it's bootleg brilliance. You won't mistake it for Marvel, but it's so shameless you almost respect it. Guardians, 2017. Not all bootleg superheroes come from The Asylum. In 2017, Russia tried to make its own Avengers with Guardians. The idea was to create a team of Soviet superheroes, each representing different parts of the USSR. The lineup included a bear man with a machine gun, a speedster, a female telekinetic, and a ninja who could disappear. The budget was a shocking $5.4 million, which, while small for Hollywood, it was massive for Russian cinema. The movie had hype, trailers that went viral worldwide, and big ambitions too. But the final product was a disaster. The CGI looked unfinished, the story was incoherent, and audiences laughed at it rather than with it. At the box office, Guardians only made about $15 million worldwide. Well, it sounds fine until you factor in distribution cuts and marketing. The studio behind it, Enjoy Movies, went bankrupt shortly after. So instead of being Russia's Avengers, it became just a meme. Sinister Squad, 2000 2016. So Asylum struck again with Sinister Squad. If you guessed this was the ripoff of Suicide Squad, you'd be right. But instead of Harley Quinn and Deadshot, you get fairy tale villains like the Big Bad Wolf, the Queen of Hearts, and Rumpelstiltskin teaming up to save the world. I can't find any official budget, but given its Asylum's formula, it was probably under $500,000. It went straight to DVD as usual and streaming, marketed just as Suicide Squad hype was at its peak. Critics hated it, but it added to Asylum's weird shared universe of fairy tale superheroes.
Alright, big guy. Let's go.
Metalman, 2008. Back in 2008, Marvel was making history with Iron Man. And at the same time, a tiny indie film called Metalman decided to piggyback on its success. The story follows a college student who builds a robotic suit to fight evil. Sounds familiar?
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps.
So the problem? The suit looks like cardboard painted with chrome spray paint. The action scenes are laughable, and the acting is straight out of a high school play. No budget figures are publicly available, but the film clearly cost peanuts. It never reached theaters and mostly circulated in obscure DVD bins. But in a way, it's fascinating. It's proof of how fast filmmakers try to copy Marvel's formula, even before the MCU had fully taken off.
I know those men were working for. You'll be dead before you even get to testify. We have to get you out of your file. We need to retrieve remaining program chips. After that, get the man as responsible for this.
Captain Battle: Legacy War, 2013. If Captain America was Marvel's patriotic hero, then Captain Battle was the budget-bin version. Released in 2013, this film stars a forgotten pulp superhero from the 1940s called Captain Battle. It tries to reimagine him as America's answer to Captain America, fighting Nazis and modern terrorists. But the problem? Cheap costumes, poor fight choreography, and no star power. With little distribution and almost no press coverage, the film came and went without anyone noticing, but it exists. Another attempt to ride Marvel's wave. Thor: The End of Days. At first glance, you might think this was another Asylum mockbuster, but it actually wasn't. This one was written and directed by Thomas Shapiro, and it was released by smaller distributors like Invincible Pictures and Ford Digital. Some platform listed as a 2015 production, though it officially hit VOD in April 2020 and DVD in August 2020. The movie reimagines Thor in a modern apocalyptic setting, where he's sent to Earth to battle giants and stop Ragnarok. It sounds epic on paper, but the execution is exactly what you'd expect from a $1.5 million low-budget production. The CGI monsters look unfinished, the action feels stiff, and the entire film plays like a fan project that somehow made it to home video shelves. Unlike Almighty Thor, this wasn't designed to premiere on Sci-Fi or hit Netflix during Marvel's hype. It was more of a direct-to-DVD curiosity, clearly marketed to cash in on audiences searching for Thor content. And while Marvel's Thor Ragnarok blew up at the box office in 2017, Thor: End of Days faded quickly into obscurity, remembered only as another attempt to weaponize Norse mythology for quick sales. That's 8 minutes. Thank you for watching. Like the video and don't forget to subscribe for more flops.